Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Hopefully well. I'm doing okay. It's Monday. Another Monday. Great
Monday. That's a great song.
I know. I missed the Friday song.
Friday.
Listen to that on Friday.
Fun.
That's Mariana's favorite song. She was singing it all last Friday.
She told me that she actually aspires to be like Rebecca Black.
I can see it.
Yeah, I also aspire to be like Rebecca Black. One day, I hope one of our YouTube videos actually gets as many views as Friday got.
That would be great.
That was incredible. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Signals from the Frontline, your every Monday and Friday video cast, live on Twitch at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, also on YouTube and on iTunes, just the audio. You can find us at Signals from the Frontline. How's everybody doing?
Well, my name's Frankie.
My name is Reese. And as always, brought to you by frontlinegaming.org, your location for all kinds of tabletop hobby goodies, 10 to 25% off retail. Check us out, buy some stuff, help us stay in business. We got bills to pay, people.
Right on. You're selling it. Making people want to buy stuff for sure. All right, so Age of Sigmar, Night Heraldor, and Vexilor, and Night Vexilor are up for pre-order. If you guys are interested in getting one of those, go ahead and send me an email to orders@frontlinegaming.org and get 25% off. What?
During the pre-order period, which is from now until the 19th. Check it out. So I was looking at the rules. I've been getting more into Age of Sigmar, and I've been looking at the rules. The Night Heraldor, Master of the Flute, or Horn. Trumpet? I think it's more of a trumpet.
That one? Looks kind of like a, what are those? Clarinet.
A clarinet?
Yeah.
He handles it like a master. I mean, he looks like he's very skilled with that big horn. And the Vexilor, which is a standard bear, the rules are very powerful. I've been noticing that with all the releases with the Stormcast Eternals that we've been seeing, and Khorne is on deck. It looks like next week we're going to be getting more Khorne stuff. We'll get to that in the rumor section. It's like extraordinarily powerful. So the starter set I don't even think is really indicative of how games are going to go. Because as we see more of these things come out, like the Celestant Prime, some of the Paladins for Stormcast Eternals, they're like mega powerful. Like when you start rolling out and you're playing the game with more of the characters and more of these units, you're going to just blow through stuff. More and more. As we play the game more, I'm seeing that if you just play the game as it's presented in the starter set where you just fight to the death, I don't think it's going to get old pretty quick, I think, for most people. I think some people will be happy with it. So young people will really be happy with it, which is obviously what it's geared at.
Well, it sounds like a lot of people are running it with like restrictions and stuff like that, just to make it more of like a game.
You have to. You have to. Out of the box, so to speak, out of the starter set, I feel like it's not a complete product. I feel like it's a fun activity, especially for young people. Yeah. I think it's going to be really good for getting young kids into the hobby because it's very simple. It's very free form. It's really easy to understand. Everything's really powerful.
Yeah.
Those are all positives for getting people into the hobby. But for people like us who are a little bit more sophisticated in what we want out of a war game, adults essentially, or people that are not necessarily an adult, but people who are a bit more experienced.
Yeah.
You need to house rule. And I don't know, but I'd be willing to guess that Games Workshop's strategy was that, hey, look, our community always house rules our games anyway. Looking at the ETC, Adepticon, the ITC, we go ahead and kind of modify the rules anyway. I don't think Games Workshop is necessarily interested in writing a tournament rule set. So they probably just said, hey, they're going to do it anyway. Let's just let them do it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't know. And so they just kind of basically gave us like a starting point, which still feels a bit like, hey, you could have at least tried.
Yeah.
And there are rumors floating around that eventually we will get a tournament rule set for Age of Sigmar. We'll see. But as this is developing, I think that you really need to play with objectives. You have to. Otherwise, the game is it's not. I wouldn't say it's dull. It's just simple, right? Like you just by turn 2, you're in a massive melee in the middle of the table, and the guy who does more mortal wounds or whatever, Yeah. Bear with us 1 second.
Surprise, suckers.
Never mind. Sorry for that. We had a technical difficulty last week, and we thought we were having it again. apologize for the interruption in the broadcast. But at any rate, the Knight Heraldor, the Knight Vexillor look really powerful. The Standard Bearer lets, if I remember correctly, lets everybody within 12 inches reroll their assault roll, which is incredibly powerful.
Jesus.
And then there's two different standards. One is like the Meteoric standard.
Yeah.
And you summon a meteor to hit within, you pick a point on the table, everything within 2d6 inches takes d3 mortal wounds, which is very powerful. But then the, I think it's called the Storm Herald or the Tempestus, the other one, essentially, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It sounds so much better. You just pick one Stormcast Eternal unit anywhere on the table, teleport it to anywhere within more than 3 inches away from an enemy unit, and then all enemy units within 6 inches of that unit take d3 mortal wounds, and then of course that unit can then assault.
Perfect.
Which is incredible, especially for objective play. That'd be ridiculously powerful. It's once
Did
per
they
game.
scatter?
No.
Oh.
Nothing scatters in this game.
Good.
At least not to my knowledge, not yet.
Good.
You just go, okay, they're there. Everyone gets blasted and then they assault. So
You literally have to play with like thousands of models, otherwise your army's just gone.
or the games go quickly.
It's true.
Right,
You
like
can just
this
play a
is-
super quick game.
This is why I'm saying like you have to play with objectives. You have to play with scenarios, or the game is going to be a little bit silly, right?
But I mean,
very simplistic.
even with scenarios, if you have that unit like jumping around, you have like the Celestant Prime coming in, it doesn't really matter if you're playing a scenario. The other guy's army's probably not going to live till turn 5 or whenever it's going to.
Well, we're going to
you
have to assume that Chaos, which they're coming out next, they're going to get really powerful stuff too.
Yeah.
Because it seems like the Stormcast Eternals, like they're supposed to be like like demigods, right? Like they come down from the heavens, they blast you with lightning and holy fire and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So Khorne, it's a little bit more like, it seems like it's going to be a little bit more horde oriented. And the thing is that one of the benefits is if you have these giant units of like just your basic warriors, the D3 mortal wounds and the mortal wounds that the Stormcast Eternals can do left, right, and center won't really matter as much.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can absorb it with numbers.
Chunks.
So, we'll see, right? The game is still developing. I really want to like the game. I feel like out of the box, it's kind of a letdown, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's a very fun game, but it's not, for me, I want a war game that's more complex and it's more tournament oriented.
Definitely.
Right? So we'll see as it develops. We're going to continue to give it a shot because I want to like it. I love the models. I really like the setting so far. I think it's very epic in scale. It's, Michael Moorcock, Cthulhu kind of grand, huge scale, and I think that's really cool. So we'll continue to give it a shot. But if you want to get your Knight Heraldor, you want to get your Knight Vexillor, go ahead and shoot those pre-orders into orders at frontlinegaming.org. Check it out. Also, we missed it because we were gone, but the Celestant Prime came out. He's like Optimus Prime.
He's sick.
For the Stormcast Eternals, he is the man. He's the chapter master, however you want to describe it. He's the Emperor. Beautiful, gigantic model, huge. And he wields Galmaraz, which is Sigmar's hammer. It's like the hammer of a god.
Yeah.
And the dude is like
Ridiculous.
mind-blowingly powerful. Like, it's like, whoa, what the hell? He just summons meteors every turn. His hammer just obliterates everything. He's -3 rend, which is insane. We've never seen anything like that. Moons on a 2. I mean, it's insane. Like, he'll go up and bop anything in one turn. Just
Yeah.
So again, it's like we have to assume Chaos is going to get something like this, like the equivalent.
Hopefully.
Everything has been pretty balanced. Like the Liberators, which is like the Space Marine, the basic guy. The Blood Warriors for Khorne are stat-wise they're almost the same thing. They're very, very very similar, and they're only different with their minor little rules changes.
Yeah.
So we have to assume there's gonna be some blood god of blood.
Kind of. It's been relatively similar, but like you've got the guy on the Hound, and then I've got my guy with my little Hound, and your guy is way better. And then you also have the Liberators with the two-handed
the
maces.
Paladins.
Yeah.
They're insane.
And they are way better than any other unit that's in my army. It's like they have rending on a 6. They deal like 2 mortal wounds. My guys have nothing that does that.
I think we haven't seen your heavy hitters yet because.
Well, no, but those guys came in the starter box.
But they're not balanced. So like you have foot soldier, like you have cannon fodder.
Yeah.
I don't. I got basically the Terminators, which are the Paladins. You did it.
Yeah.
You got a monster. I didn't. My Lord is mounted. Yours is on foot. Because there's now a Celestant, Lord Celestant, which is basically like a captain.
Just walking.
this walking that has a little griffin guy.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of like, that's like the equivalent of yours.
Gotcha.
And I've got that. So I think you'll be getting your Terminator guys, which are like your paladins.
Hopefully they just give you like dreadnoughts.
That is what your
I know. No, hopefully you guys, they're like, just buy the Space Marine dreadnought box. Boop.
They did in the fantasy when the Soul Grinder went into
Yeah.
fantasy. And I was like, what?
What is this?
So we'll see. Like I'm assuming there's going to be some equivalents.
Yeah.
Like you'll get a lord on some kind of a monster, which will be the equivalent of Captain Kill-Em-All. I think it's going to start to balance out. Like we got our standard bearer, which you got in the starter box, we did not.
Yeah.
And then we got basically our chaplain, the Relictor. You're going to get, your equivalent unit. So I think it's going to start to balance out a little bit as we get more units. What I'm really excited for is the elves, because I always like to play elf armies in fantasy. So we'll see what that entails. I'm really excited to see the models because I bet they're going to be really cool. Speaking of the paladins, I was looking at the other ones because with the paladins, you can give them either the hammer, which they come with, which is very powerful.
Yeah.
You can give them the glaive, or you can give them an axe. The axe is gnarly. It's a 2-inch range. Hits every enemy model within 2 inches.
They swing it really, really
It's
hard.
like the, was it Cleave or Thresher in War Machine?
Thresher, yeah.
But every guy has it. You're just like, holy smokes. I guess the only downside is one guy will kill a bunch of people and the other guy's like, oh.
Come on, man.
But the glaives look really good too. They have 3-inch reach and they have 3 attacks each and they can like block arrows. And if you're hitting a monster, they do like D6 wounds each.
Jesus.
So it's like, what your Maulerfiend guy, what's it called again?
I don't even remember.
I can't remember the Korgath. Those guys will kill him like instantaneously. They're just like dead.
Oh look, D6
Yeah.
wins.
Monsters I really don't think are that great in Age of Sigmar because they get weaker as they go.
Yeah.
And so many guys just like, well, like your little blood warriors will come up and like shank him to death. It's we'll see. There's a lot to learn about the game still. So
Yeah. All right. The narrative guys are still going really strong for LVO. They're making some cool fast food stalls for the narrative.
I really like
pretty
it.
amazing.
There's like Battle Burger, like Nano Sandwich, like
So cool.
they look really neat. I think this is Infinity Train. I don't think they custom made it.
Yeah.
But as always, go to their Facebook page, the narrative guys, and follow the page because it's really neat. This event is going to be special. We took one look at what they did at War Games Con, and we were like, these guys have got something really, really cool going on.
Yeah.
And we immediately were like, hey, we really want to work with you guys at LVO. The event sold out in days. There's going to be 60 people every day at the narrative event. It's going to be incredible.
That's crazy.
And the care and the love that's going into what they're doing is evident.
Yeah.
This is going to be a really special event. I could see this growing to become something really, really awesome. Who knows? We could have a 200-person narrative campaign that's wrapped up just at the LVO. And that's incredible.
Yeah, that would be sick. Nova Open had a really cool narrative too.
I've
They
heard
had like
theirs is badass.
they had a video that they made of like basically like the intro to the story, and like I ran down there because I wanted to watch it, but they were doing like check-in and all this stuff. So I was like sitting there for like 20 minutes. And I had a game in like 5 more minutes. I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah,
Shit,
we should totally
I missed
do
it. It sounded really cool. Like they were gonna forge the hardest narrative ever on a video.
Which
so I
is
was like,
awesome.
God damn it.
Like
I really wanted to watch it, but I had to go, so didn't get to see it.
behind tournament play, narrative play is my favorite way to play.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, these guys do like at War Games Con, they had a giant projector screen that was like showing crazy graphics of like what was going on and what planets were being taken over. Really, really neat. Can't wait to see it in action. It's going to be a spectacle. People are going to be like really, really impressed when they see this and when they see what it is with their own eyes.
I guess they had a big X-Wing narrative at Nova Open as well.
Yeah, they built a scale Star Destroyer.
They did, and
Or
then
Super
they had like all these, so basically like planets around it, and the people were fighting on there, and they had 2 generals, and like basically after each game, the people would come up and record it, and then they would change like on the general's table like what's going on, and then the
That's
general would
awesome.
control where more ships would go and
That's
stuff.
really
It
cool.
was really tight.
That's really cool.
So it was a lot of fun. So I really like the narratives. So I can't wait to see this 40K one. It's gonna be really cool.
Speaking of which, the new Star Wars is about 90 days away.
Christmas.
J.J. Abrams, don't let me down, man. You've been kicking ass.
He's not as good as Michael Bay, but we'll see what he can do. Could you imagine the amount of explosions would be in this movie if Michael Bay made it?
Can you imagine how much I would punch you in the nuts if that happened?
They're gonna have a Victoria's Secret X-Wing, Budweiser Star Destroyer.
The Star Destroyer says Bud Light on the side. It's like, oh my god. And Darth Vader's like, we are going to destroy this planet. Tastes great. Let's fill in. Fire! You're like, ah!
Did you guys get all the Bud Light off of that planet?
Before we blow it up.
Good.
It's the most valuable.
Yes.
I would drive to Michael Bay's house and I would punch him in the dick. I don't care how long I went to jail.
Dick punch.
It'd be worth every minute of the time I spent in jail.
Like, you jerk.
I hate you.
Anyways, so LVO update. There's still room for War Machine and Hordes, Drop Zone Commander, Infinity, Magic the Gathering, X-Wing, and Netrunner. Don't miss out, guys. It's going to be a great event. We're expecting a lot of people, and it's going to be the best LVO yet. So we don't want you guys to miss out.
Privateer Press is going to be there, which is going to be freaking awesome. So make sure you keep your eyes open for that. They're actually going to be involved in running the tournament.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really cool. And Malifaux is developing. We have a TO on board. Awesome. Thank you so much. Right now, he and I are just hammering out the schedule and the details, so the Malifaux tickets will be up for sale, I would say, within the next week, and we'll be rocking and rolling, ready to go.
Sweet. Dark Age at it again, showing off some really cool new releases. We've got Bane, Coil, Firestorms, Pseudo, and Kotele. I have no idea how to say that.
You know what? That's Mayan. So I will give you a pass on that. But these look really cool. Bane looks like some sort of a religious group. The Coil, kind of a typical like post-apocalyptic looking group. Firestorm, it's all female.
These are sick.
Yeah, really cool. Kind of like commando looking. The Pseudo was my favorite. It's a really neat looking walker, but it's like,
it's interesting.
Yeah, it's really like alien looking.
It's very different.
Very different, but I like it a lot. I think it's a really cool miniature. And then the Kuatlai, I believe that's the right way to say it. That goes in their like Mayan themed faction, which has some brilliant models, and it's a winged feathered serpent.
So now is Dark Age? They're adding more models to their existing factions, because before that wasn't what they were doing. Before they were releasing whole new factions.
Right.
So
maybe now they're adding to existing factions. You know, I don't know.
Cool.
I'm not an expert on Dark Age, so I really couldn't say. But
their models are incredible. They've definitely been stepping up the game. And if you guys have not seen them, definitely check them out. Incredible.
Yep.
So.
They look really cool. If we had more time, we would definitely be willing to give it a try, because I love the miniatures.
For sure.
And the idea of just buying a whole faction of like less than 10 models, painting them up, being good to go, very appealing.
Well, next time, if we go to Adepticon this year, we definitely have to go try out Dark Age.
We should.
They're there every year doing demos, so
that's become one of my favorite things to do at Adepticon is go demo all the other games.
It's a lot of fun.
That's how we became introduced to Drop Zone Commander.
Yeah.
It's a game I'd been keeping an eye on, but then I finally got a chance to sit down and play it, and I was like, oh, this is such a cool game. Speaking of which, we will be streaming Drop Zone Commander in the relatively near future. We have recruited Danny to come in and put together some buildings. He's knocked a couple out. Yeah. Once we have enough terrain, we're going to do it. Our paint studio, frontlinegaming.org, they're going to be painting Frankie and I my army so that we can play with non-gray models.
They're not gray, they're white.
White, yeah, some of them are silver, depending if they're made of metal or resin.
So Forge World is currently working on the Thunderhawk transporter.
They're remastering the mold.
That's cool. So hopefully, do you think they're going to change anything or just do a brand new mold?
Probably just cleaning it up. And
nah, that stinks. But they're also making some Legion T-shirts available to order at the 40K Open Day, October 17th and 18th. These shirts are pretty cool.
Yes.
I'm glad that Forge World's jumping into making T-shirts. They made hats and stuff before. They made mugs.
Sweatshirts.
Yeah. It's cool.
I don't know why. I mean, they should always have apparel for sale.
Yes.
I mean, these are cool. We got the 3rd Legion, the Emperor's Children. We got the 19th Legion, the Raven Guard. They're badass, right? Like, these are very, very cool. T-shirts, I would totally grab a Raven Guard shirt if I was at Open Day.
Good thing Raven Guard. They're going to sell the shit out of those Raven Guard T-shirts because Raven Guard are for sure the best chapter there is.
I know their chapter tactics are straight garbage, but they're one of the coolest legions in terms of the fluff.
Yeah.
And as usual, most people will just play them with White Scars chapter tactics because it actually fits their fluff more.
Well, these are 30K T-shirts, so maybe Raven Guard's really good in 30K. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
We haven't tried yet.
I don't have enough brain space to try and fit 30K rules into my head when I could barely keep up with 40K.
Yep. All right, Toughest Girls in the Galaxy showing off some painted versions of their KTS Heavy Troopers.
KST.
Or KST, what did I say?
KTS. Dyslexia is going to get you.
Anyways, they look really, really cool. I dig it. I like this thing. They also show images of Nurse Caroline and W101 Cyber Zombie Bodyguard.
If you're gonna have a bodyguard, I want a female cyber zombie bodyguard with a chain gun.
Of
Two
course.
chain guns for hands.
Definitely.
But all of the KST heavy troopers are freaking awesome.
Yeah,
They're
they
like
look sick.
samurai. They're like female samurai sci-fi warriors. They look badass. And then Nurse Caroline goes in the Jailbirds line, which are like female Catachans.
Yeah.
And she's a nurse, quite clearly.
She's really cool.
Really great.
I like the nurse model.
I love the toughest girls in the galaxy miniatures.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one for my Inquisitor, I think.
Yeah, they're really good. I keep saying I'm gonna get some to add to my Catachans, but I just haven't. So eventually, one day, over the rainbow.
Day. All right. Weird is also previewing a new model, Night Terror.
Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be a unit because they're called the Night Terrors.
Oh, okay.
But it looks like a.
It looks
like
pretty
a rare
badass.
bat.
Yeah.
No,
It's
it looks
badass.
great. I really dig them. And Weird has switched to plastic, and they have good plastic miniatures. So
Yeah.
check them out. Malifaux, not really my cup of tea, but in terms of like the aesthetic and the setting, it's a little too goofy for me. Not to say that it's bad. A lot of people love it.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love about Malifaux is that it brings women into the hobby. More women play Malifaux than any miniatures game I've ever seen, which I think is really positive. That's great.
Super good.
And I really like some of the rules mechanics in Malifaux. I think they've made some genius game design decisions. I've only had a chance to play it a few times, but I was very impressed with the mechanics of the game. I thought it was really cool. So
Yeah. No, it is a really cool game, and it's blowing up right now.
It's very popular.
Especially on the East Coast.
Yeah.
The East Coast loves it.
So, and good for them. One of our really good buddies, Justin, is one of the lead designers.
Yep.
So we wish him nothing but success, and it's great to see them grow.
Sure. All right. You want to take this one, buddy?
Yeah, so we wanted to announce there's going to be some changes coming up in our Twitch schedule. We are going to cut Thursday Night Fight, the live Thursday game. It's turned out to be, our broadcasting schedule has just been a bit much. And we feel like we could focus on doing one live game a week and deliver better quality. We want to really hype it up. We want to make sure that it's a game that's exciting, that people want to see. We want to feature lists that have won tournaments, all that stuff. But we need time to organize that. And then on Thursdays, instead of broadcasting a live show at night, we're going to record a short form video bat rep during the day. Obviously, it's not going to be broadcast on Twitch, but it's going to be meant for YouTube. It's going to be meant for viewing on a post-edited format, so to speak. So it's going to be shorter than the long-form video bat reps. It's going to be like the old short-form video bat reps we used to do, but take the production value and the quality and multiply it times 100. We think it's going to be better for us. We think it's going to be more interesting for our viewers. It was a tough choice to make, but we really feel like it's the smarter choice. So Tuesday Night Fight is going to remain the way it is. It's going to be planned a week ahead in advance, and we're going to feature games that we think are going to be really exciting that people are really going to want to watch. Probably focus a little bit more on the tournament aspect of 40K so that people can really see the turn-by-turn decisions that are made and see how things develop. And then Thursday, it's going to be designed strictly for YouTube or more for YouTube format. So it's going to be shorter, easier to digest. We're really going to focus on making it fun to watch. And we think that this mix is going to be better for everybody. So just want to give everyone a heads up about that. And we'll continue to let people know about that as we go. But regularly scheduled game for tomorrow night. Thursday, we will not be broadcasting. Instead, we'll be filming a video that will be edited, much more enjoyable to watch on a YouTube style format.
Yeah. All right. Upcoming ITC events. We've got InfernoCon in Las Vegas, Nevada. These are all coming up this weekend. TBS Comics, Rumble ITC event, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. The Nowhere Open, I like it. Sunrise Games and Comics, El Paso, Texas. Council of Five Nations, East Greenbush, New York. And Warhammer 40K ITC tournament in Reno, Nevada.
I like how a lot of the terms are just saying ITC tournament now.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm like, hey, I don't feel like coming up with some creative name. I'm just going to.
Yeah, Warhammer 40K ITC tournament.
It is what it says on the 10.
Dig it.
I like it.
But I do like the Nowhere Open. That's pretty cool.
Also for ITC, I've got a bunch of events came in over the weekend. We got the Nova Open Invitational, a bunch of events. We got the T-Shift open. We've got just quite a few of them. I can't remember them off the top of my head. I will get all those updated today. So keep an eye out because people are like, hey, where's my score? Where's my score hasn't been updated yet.
Yeah.
Sometimes the TO just hasn't gotten me the tournament results. And we unplug over the weekend, so I will get all those updated today.
All right, rumors. The rumor section is gathered from the web and is not in any way information received from any manufacturer, nor is it necessarily accurate. This section of the podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only.
So this is a kind of an interesting rumor. It appeared on Fayette 212. Supposedly, GW is going to be releasing Blood Bowl again in October. Who knows? If they do, it's probably going to be a box game, just like a single release type deal. But that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Blood Bowl is a loved game. It's well loved all around the world. There's people still play. There's been all kinds of games that have popped up to kind of replace Blood Bowl. Like there's like Dungeon Bowl, and then there's the science fiction version, Dread Ball. But it looks like GW is going to throw their hat back in the ring. If that's true, awesome. I think a lot of people would be very happy to see that.
Heck yeah. The Blood Bowl was huge when it first came out, and people have been still continuing playing it, stuff like that. So it's a really cool game.
It's a really wacky, fun game. It's too random for my taste, but a lot of people love it. You know, like you could
lose your guy.
Guys could
like,
die.
Yeah,
like, the cheerleaders could mug them. And yeah, it was just it's funny. It's a funny game.
Yeah.
And I think that it'd be really popular if it did come back.
Definitely. Also, there's rumors of the Age of Sigmar releases. These are going to be Khorne release, so super exciting. We got the Slaughter Priest and the Skull Grinder. What do you think the Skull Grinder? Do you think he's going to have like a little like rock
little wheel
grinder?
He's like, I don't know. I mean, the Slaughter Priest sounds like obviously like a hero.
Yeah.
It'd probably be the equivalent of my Relictor for Stormcast Eternals, my chaplain.
Yeah.
And then the Skull Grinder to me sounds like some kind of a monster.
It probably is.
We'll see, but hey,
it's going to be a Skull Grinder. It's going to be the Soul Grinder kit, but they're going to head swap. Boom, boom, repackaged, double price. Take that.
That was like that video where he's like, we're going to take the box and only put 5 models in, but double the price. So now it has 4 times the value to the customer.
Damn you, Matt Ward.
They're so funny. Also, one rules lawyer. I guess this would be maybe more a rant session. Yeah. So anyway, it keeps coming up. A lot of people are insisting that in the ITC format, it's a roll off to go second, or it's always you want to go second. I just don't know if I'm being stubborn, because I'm always like, no. Last time that we tracked the data, to be fair, this was before we changed the missions.
Yeah.
And with the changes to the missions, going first is a little bit less important because there's less first blood, that alone. But last time we tracked it, it was actually slightly better to go first than second.
Yeah.
And I've had a number of players that very insistently keep saying, oh yeah, you always want to go second. The thing is, like when I play ITC events, I almost always still go first. And I know that's probably due to the kind of armies that I play. Like I've been playing my orcs a lot. Orcs almost always want to go first because they want to get closer to you.
Yeah.
Different armies are different. Like my new army that I've been playing always wants to go second, my airborne army. So instead of us just, throwing out our opinions that are biased and then based on anecdotal evidence, we should just start tracking the data again.
Yeah.
And if there really is a big discrepancy with it, then we can make some adjustments. But I really don't agree. I still choose to go first more often than I choose to go second, and I win way more than I lose. Yeah. In ITC, now I'm different. Not everybody's the same. Everybody plays different armies. But
well, I was thinking about it, and really and truly, it depends on what kind of army you're playing.
Yeah.
And it depends on what your opponent's playing. It's really not the mission. It's really not the mission, though.
I mean, I was trying to go along with what you're saying. Like, it depends on my list, your list, and what we're trying to do.
I mean, like, I agree, and I guess it really does depend on what you're trying to do. But really, brass tacks is what you're playing as a person. Yeah. Like, if you have a null deploy army, chances are you're going to go second every game, no matter what the mission is. And then if you have like a full assault army, chances are you're going to want to go first because you want to get really close.
Yeah.
But it also depends on what your opponent's playing. Like if you're an assault army and you're playing against a noble deploy, you're going to give him first turn so that he comes in, and then you're going to do that. So I really don't think it's based on the missions or any kind of tournament format. I think it's basically based on what army you're playing and what you're playing against, to be completely honest. Because my armies it really depends on what I'm playing against. If I'm playing against like a null deploy army, then of course I'm going to give them first turn, so they come in, and then I can pummel them. If they're an alpha strike army, then I'm going to want to go first, so that at least I can get into a good position before they shoot me. So it really depends on what armies, in my opinion. So
yeah, I agree. It's not so simplistic as you always do this, you always do that. Well, that's just not the case.
yeah,
In a game with so many variables, you're never always going to do anything.
no,
So, yeah, I just always find that interesting because I still choose to go first more often than not. I want to make the first moves. I want to dictate where the action's going to happen. I want to get the first strike.
definitely.
And sometimes, yeah, you don't want to go first. Like you're playing against drop pods, you're not going to choose to go first because that'd be really stupid.
No.
Well, actually, there are some instances where I would, like if you want to get your buffs up or something like
Yeah.
that. But we should start tracking the data because that will tell, right?
But one of our buddies, he always says, going second is the place to go. I played him in a tournament. He chose to go second. Alpha striked and killed more than half his army.
Right.
So, I mean,
to be fair, that was Nova format versus ITC format, which there are some differences, but I think there's still have progressive objectives. You still have end of game objectives.
well, no, it doesn't matter what format you're playing. I still killed half his army on turn
Yeah,
one.
you would have always chose to go first.
Even if it was a GT with 3,000 points and I go first to kill half his army, it doesn't matter what format I'm playing.
Fair
I
enough.
killed half your army.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it really depends on what army you're playing against, like I've been saying, and what army you are playing.
Yeah,
So
like if you
I
have a
don't-
drop pod army, you're almost always going to choose.
I really don't think the mission plays like a huge factor into it, unless it's a mission that's like all progressive or something like that. Then chances are you're going to want to go second or first, depending on when you're scoring.
And then it depends on if they score at the top or the bottom of the turn, because then that does change things also. Because then if you go get first, you jump on objectives, your opponent has no chance to stop you.
Yep.
And you're like, dink, I just racked up all these points.
That was exciting.
Yeah. So at any rate, enough talk about that. But it's always interesting to me to see how people's perceptions are impacted by their experience, which is totally fair. But
Oh, for sure.
going off the data that we have, it's not skewed in the slightest. As a matter of fact, it was better to go first. Again, we have changed the mission slightly, so we'll see. I think we should just track the data again at the LVO, and we'll see how the cookie crumbles in that regard.
Also, guys, here's a recent completed painting commission from Frontline Gaming, so check it out. This knight is incredible.
Stunning. This is level 3. This is our top level. Well, we have level 4, but that's only for single models, usually smaller than a knight. We could do a knight level 4, but it'd be
This thing is
be a big project. But this is a level 3 Sisters of Battle knight, and it's absolutely amazing. It features a bunch of freehand, a bunch of airbrush work. It's gorgeous. I think that the individual who's going to be receiving this is going to be extremely pleased.
Yeah, unless it gets lost in the mail and comes to our studio on accident. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so list for review. We've got a Tau list. Nice. So the guy has 2 Cadre Fireblades, a 9-man unit of Fire Warriors inside of a Devilfish. He has 2 of those. He has a Riptide with Feel No Pain and Advanced Targeting, which is Interceptor. He has 3 units of 4 Pathfinders, 3 Hammerhead gunships with the rail cannons.
And disruption pods.
And then he has a Farsight Enclave allied detachment with another Cadre Fireblade, another 9 Warriors with Bonding Knife inside of a Devilfish, and a Riptide with Earthcast Piloting Array, Feel No Pain, and Interceptor, along with another Hammerhead with a rail cannon. Good.
This is an interesting list. You don't see Tau lists like this very often. No. This is almost like a 4th edition Tau army, which used to be the bane of my existence in 4th edition. That was the hardest army for me to beat. I actually really like it. He's got 3 Cadre Fireblades, so all of the Fire Warriors are going to be pumping out a lot of shots. They're very mobile. You got the Devilfish. You got 4 Hammerhead gunships. That's really interesting. 2 Riptides. I think this is not like, I wouldn't call this like an optimal Tau list. I think it's a really cool Tau list. I think it'll catch a lot of people off guard.
Yeah.
Because Hammerhead gunships are going to be really hard to kill if you don't have Ignore's cover.
For sure.
Because with the disruption pods, it makes them extremely resilient. They're armor 13 also. And you've got plenty of Markelites, although instead of Pathfinders, I would really consider taking Tetras.
Yeah, Tetras, I think,
so much
are
better.
way better. But, I mean, the Pathfinders are going to be great. They're going to be boosting the ballistic skill of the Hammerheads or the Riptides if they need to. I mean, I think this is actually a really good list. I mean, especially with the meta going away from armor penetration. I mean, you have a lot of armor 13, or are they 12?
They're 13.
They got 13.
Yeah, they're 13.
So they're going to be really hard to kill.
With oftentimes a 3-up cover save.
Yeah.
They're going to be very resilient. And with the submunition rounds, you can shoot a big, large blast, oftentimes ignoring cover. So you've got anti-horde. You have really good odds of taking out things like rhinos, which are extremely prevalent now due to Battle Company.
Yeah.
And you've got Fire Warriors with Quadra Fireblades that can smoke like little 5-man units, which were the MSU units we're seeing everywhere.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem that army is going to have is dealing with Death Stars, but Tau just struggle with Death Stars in general. So nothing new there, right? Like, I'm really happy that Tau's getting a Lord of War.
Yeah.
They need something that can stomp, or, you know, maybe it'll have some D range shooting, like single shot, like the big cannons on its back.
Yeah.
They need something, because Death Star is just anything with like a rerollable save or something like that, like a Screamer Star. Tau just can't do anything to it.
Yeah, well, Tau doesn't have any close combat, which is how you beat these Death Stars,
Right.
fortunately, or at least compete with them.
Yes.
You can't really.
But some good single shot range D, I think, would be really good for them.
Not bad.
Because then they could just, you know, ignore cover.
Well, it has 3 of those cannons on top, so it probably combined shot shoots like a 10-inch blast, ignores cover D.
They look like
always rolls a 6.
They look like ion cannons to me though, which
I don't know.
aren't.
Just strength 10 AP1. Yeah, you're like,
They're not even.
Or no,
that.
strength 8
Yeah,
AP1.
they're strength 7 and stuff. Yeah, so
love
hey,
it.
we'll see.
But anyways, guys, that's all we got for signals. So if you guys want to ask some questions on our Twitch channel, we'll go ahead and get those answered for you. And yeah.
Go ahead and fire us some preguntas. I've been practicing my Spanish.
Oh,
at the
yeah?
local
Are you getting good?
burrito shop. Yeah, I'm getting better. I was like, "Bon dia." He's like, "Que on the way?" I was like, "Yeah, all right. This is a good burrito shop." So, bon dia is the slang, like the short. Bon dia, amigo. That's what I learned in Central America when I was there.
Karak Fiasco Man. So Chaos Knights for Chaos Space Marines can take Legacies of Ruin.
Demon out of Khorne with First War of Armageddon gives Khorne demons within 6 inches in front of the vehicle +1 to demon save.
Is there any reason to take a different Chaos Knight ever over a 4++ save Master Race Khorne Knight? I don't know. I haven't really taken a huge look at the Chaos Space Marine Knights because they're experimental. So until they're made to where you're going to be seeing them on the table all the time, I'm probably not going to take a super deep look.
The Khorne one does look to be really good though so far, because he gets all these bonuses to attacks and all sorts of other goodies. I think that the Khorne Knight's going to be the most prevalent.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We really need to give it a test on the table. We have a tendency not to play experimental rules here because it's not really conducive. We have to try all these other things. We're always like trying to keep up with what's new.
Yeah.
And since experimental rules aren't tournament like approved, we tend to like avoid that just because there's really no point, other than just curiosity to see how it works.
Venom's Chosen 920. What's a list nowadays, anyways? It's
Whatever
way different than it used to be. It's not way different. Let's say armies are, that's for sure. But you still have a CAD, so which is the same thing as a Force Org back in the day. But there are a lot of changes. So
your list can be almost whatever you want it to be.
yeah.
Now, I mean, really, if you play Unbound, it literally can be whatever you want it to be. But
Yeah.
almost, I don't know anybody who plays Unbound. The Clincher, how do bikes react to being targeted by the Devastators and the Skyhammer Annihilation Force? We can't go to ground, but if you fail the check, you won't be able to overwatch. Or no, if you pass the check.
So they will never be able to overwatch because technically they always pass it.
Yeah, so you won't be able to overwatch, but you can never be pinned, which is the upside to that.
Yep. Basically, if they decide to shoot at you, you cannot fire Overwatch, no matter what you roll.
Right. Basically, if you get shot by the Stormhammer, the Skyhammer Annihilation Force, you can't Overwatch.
Yeah.
Like,
ridiculous.
It's cool, yeah. Again, though, we've seen over and over again, it's really not that crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so far, the best we've seen with it is the Josh Durth on our team, who's been doing all grav cannons on the Devastator squads. He drops those in, and he drops in 2 units of grav Centurions. They all come down at once. And again, that could really suck, though, if you play somebody null deploys, you're like, yeah!
Well,
I guess you could choose turn 2.
Yeah.
But if they go second, they're still coming in after you. So that so far has been the most powerful version of it that we've seen, but I like it just because it makes Assault Marines and Devastators really good.
Yeah.
Well, Assault Marines medium good. which is a good thing. It's really not as overpowered as everybody thought it was going to be. Not even by a mile, in my opinion.
Like we were saying before, there's going to be armies that it's like their worst nightmare, and then there's armies, or the majority of the field's not going to even care. I'm going to be like, all right, cool, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, most of the armies out there, the very powerful armies out there, don't really care that much. Like, what it is good against like, it'll be really good against armies like Tau or Sit and Shoot Guard, which those armies kind of struggle in the meta right now anyway. So it's not as impactful as people thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Verminar 10.
Yeah. So in the new ITC FAQ, what were your thoughts behind not allowing a captain to be upgraded to a chapter master in a battle company or the Gladius Strike Force? Yeah, this one is open to interpretation as always. Yep. But if you look at the Gladius Strike Force, they say you can take a captain, and if you want to take the battle company, you have to take a captain and a chaplain. They specify captain, right? Yeah. They actually use that word, captain. You can upgrade a captain to a chapter master in his unit entry, but then he becomes a chapter master. He's no longer a captain. Now, going further down that road, if you look at the substitutes they allow you to take, they're all named captains. None of them are chapter masters. Yeah. So if you want to take a chapter master in a battle company or a Gladius Strike Force, which you can do, there's a HQ. I can't remember what it's called. It's an
HQ detachment or something like that.
It's not a formation. It's an element of the Gladius Strike Force. Yeah. You can take a bunch of different HQs, and in there it specifies you can upgrade the captain to a chapter master. Yep. Because it gives you examples. You can also take Marnius Calgar, Pedro Cantor. So that was the logic behind it. We're taking it literally like, yeah, you can take a captain. And then in the fluff too, a company is always led by a captain. It's not led by a chapter master.
Plus, it's the same thing as two Gladiuses form the battle company, just like a bunch of Transformers form whatever. I don't remember what it was called. Well, they formed the Transformer.
Constructicons form Devastator, bro.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, well, the Lions form Voltron. And then there was the Voltron made of cars. One of them like a minivan. I would be embarrassed.
All right, Johnny Wrath, the flicker jump for Warp Spiders says that whenever the spiders are targeted by a shooting attack, it doesn't say shooting phase, you can flicker jump out of the way. Can this be used more than once per turn? Since there's no restrictions, can it be used in Overwatch?
Again, this one's open for interpretation. Different places play it differently. In the ITC, we choose to play it as a warp jump, which you can only do once. Like in Nova, they interpreted it as
many times
as you want. I honestly, personally feel that's a little bit excessive. I don't think that the rules necessarily indicate that that's the case either, but it is definitely ambiguous, as unfortunately so many things are. You could definitely read it that way. Whether or not you can do it in Overwatch, I don't remember if...
I don't think you're being targeted. They don't target you.
Well, they do. I would need to open the book and see exactly what it says for the rules for Overwatch and flicker jump. Yeah. I think it'd be a bit ridiculous if you could do it for Overwatch, but I don't know. I'd have to look at the rule.
You're like, I will never fail this charge because you'll decide to shoot me and I'm going to come after you.
So,
God, they were the hardest thing to kill at Nova.
Yeah, the infinite flicker jump, I really think that's not.
I was like, I can't kill you unless I'm close combat based. Damn it.
It's a little silly. That's just my opinion. I know there's people who disagree with me, which is totally fine. But we always tend to go with a more conservative interpretation of rules. Like pretty much down the line, we tend to do that. So I just think it's, in my opinion, I think it just makes for a more enjoyable game for more people when you do it that way.
Venom's Chosen 920. Can I marry you guys?
Well, it's legal now, so
bring it on.
Hey, my girlfriend might be upset about that, but
if you put a ring on it, bring it.
I feel like I could have had a ring on it.
Craig Sniffin, why did you guys change seats? We like to switch it up, throw you guys a little bit of a curveball. I don't know. It just happened this way. Maybe I was born this way.
Nova Star. Don't worry, the Tau Titan will be experimental for 2 years. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, probably.
Gosh, Tau players, I feel so bad. You've got all these awesome new suits that are not tournament legal because they've been experimental rules for literally years. Hopefully, the rumor is they're going to update the Siege of Mimiria and the Taros campaign hopefully soon so that all these things become non-experimental at that point.
Rob Guy Day. Is it a big deal if we make a Knight Crusader and switch the arms so that the battle cannon and the Gatling gun are switched? I don't see why that would make a big deal. No?
No, do whatever you want, man. Put it on his fucking head.
Yeah. Pew, pew, pew.
You're good to go in that regard. No, I mean, don't put it on his head. If it was a really cool conversion, I'd be okay with it. But.
T Silver, what's up, fellas? What's the new rumor for the Codex? Is it what's the one that's coming up? So rumored is Zinch Demonkin
keeps coming up as the rumor for the next Codex, followed by Tau. I know I saw the one that there was a rumor briefly that Astra Militarum is going to be redone. I don't see that happening.
That would be crazy.
I mean, I would be okay with that, but I don't think they need it. They're really, really good. They've got all the tools you need to win in 7th edition. I guess maybe they wanted to give him a Decurion stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Zinch Demonkin, we keep hearing that over and over.
Yeah, so I think Zinch Demonkin's probably next on deck, and then we've got Tau after that. And those will probably be the only 2 codexes to come out this year. The rest will come out next year.
NWO Biffo, step up my Espanol.
Hashtag step up, yo.
I had a quesadilla this morning.
And of course, hit us up when you're down here, NWO Biffo, and we'll show you around. Show you some good times.
There's so much cool stuff to see in San Diego. I mean, it's ridiculous. There's so much fun stuff down here. Is Bon Dia not good? In Central America, everyone said that. I thought it was like slang for like, because Buenos Dias, obviously, but everyone would be like, Bon Dia, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, it's shorter, it's easier. So I just didn't say it. I wonder if I look like an idiot.
They're like, look at this guy. Archon Vect 5-1, is this a vampire? Is this vampire?
I'm just kidding. It's vampire.
What do I need to do to make Dark Eldar work? Pray and take more Eldar than you do Dark Eldar.
And Frankie, in my opinion, Dark Eldar is the weakest single codex in the game. Weaker than, I mean, I would give you better odds of winning with Militarum Tempestus.
Easily, yes.
Yeah. But we'll see, because I totally lost my train of thought. Anyway, making Dark Eldar solo work is a challenge. I think you almost, if you want to play competitively, you almost have to put Eldar in there.
Yeah, or you could take
you need it.
2 Corpse Thieves, might be able to. I don't know. I was kind of messing around with this, but I don't know. They don't have enough armor pen. They're lacking in a lot of different departments.
If you do Raiders of Real Space and you took like 6 Razor Wings, 3
Void Ravens,
Ravagers, and took a bunch of MSU scoring units, maybe.
Might, but you're not OBSEC at that point.
Yeah, so that's a good point.
I don't know. It's difficult. It's really hard to make it work.
You're playing the game on hardest mode.
Yes.
I would much rather take Sisters of Battle than Dark Eldar. I love the models and they're great, but yeah, you're struggling without Eldar support for Dark Eldar.
Mighty God King, are unrestricted Eldar still insane? Yes. If you play unrestricted Eldar, it is broken. Like
at ATC,
there's been a few tournaments that have done it where it's unrestricted, and you see like 5 Wraith Knights on the table, and they're just, no army can take that.
Yeah, at ATC, 7 of the top 10 single performing armies were Eldar armies with multiple Wraith Knights.
Yeah.
And that's the key, right? It's the Wraith Knights heinously underpriced. And then Scat Packs are the best, in my opinion, still the best troop in the game. So when you take a combination of the best troop in the game with the most underpriced, heavy-hitting, extremely difficult to kill unit, you don't have to be a genius to add that up and to see where you're going to go. It doesn't mean it's unbeatable at all. No. It just means you have such a ridiculous advantage. So unrestricted Eldar, in my opinion, I think Frankie agrees, makes the game less enjoyable to play. Yeah. Because it's too predictable. It's like, okay, you have 4 or 5 Wraith Knights, well, 5 Scat Packs, cool. Unless I have an army that's specifically geared to kill that, you're just going to get steamrolled.
Yeah, they are really good.
Venom's Chosen, this is Brother Captain Poncho? What?
Who dat?
Luis, you might be coming back again.
Do it.
What's OP nowadays? Not Met Guard.
Not Met Guard. Sorry, dude.
But Guard is still really good. Luis, that'd be awesome if you came back, dude. Go to the shop, dude. Say what's up to Raw Dogger. He'll hook you up.
All right. Sikath 11. What is the antidote against IG gun lines when playing orcs?
You take the anti-Death Star.
You take the Death Star.
It's not a Death Star.
It is a Death Star.
It is not.
Okay.
I'll give you this. It's a mini baby star.
It is definitely a Death Star.
So at any rate, you take Zardsnark with a giant unit of bikes, stick a couple characters in there, definitely make them fearless with a fearless banner.
And feel no pain.
2-up
Jinx save.
The problem is that IG have a lot of ignores cover, but if you get first turn, it's almost a wrap unless your opponent's really smart and he bubble wraps everything, because you'll multi-assault and he's dead on the next turn. But yeah, that works really, really well. I feel like with orcs, You need either the green tide, which you'll smash.
You have too many bodies, yeah.
Yeah, you just walk forward and you'll put a void shield on them, or you need bikes. I really feel like those are like really the two main viable choices. But a really fast orc army that's got tank bustas and bikes, you should obliterate an normal Imperial Guard army, especially if you go first. It really shouldn't even be very close, to be honest.
No. Stanier 89. He's been out of the loop for a little while. Starting up a 30k army. He has 15 tactical marines and 2 pre-heresy rhinos. He's wondering what else he should get. I'm not sure. I haven't played 30k.
I don't play 30k.
Is Sanguinius out?
No, he's not. I can't wait for that one.
That's gonna be sick.
I don't know. You know what though? If you go into our forums, there's a lot of guys that play 30k.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
I think the Terminators are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So
everything
give
is
that
good
a shot,
in 30k.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wish I could give you some more help, but I don't.
Mighty God King, what do you guys want fixed in the Chaos Book besides Legions and Enchanted No Fear Marines? That's basically it. Well, I'm not too needy.
I would love to see them get rid of the Champion of Chaos rule. It's so dumb.
As long as they get Enchanted No Fear, I'm fine with it.
Don't make you take aspiring champions because they just commit suicide and it's wasted points. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
And then I would love to see better characters that do cool stuff, like modify the Force Org or anything like that. And I would love to see the cult troops, if they are going to be able to be taken as troops, that anybody with the mark able to do it. But I would be willing to bet that they're only going to be elites. Yeah. And they'll have new formations and detachments that let you take more of them.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I would like to see like the equivalent of a chapter master for Chaos, like a mighty Chaos Lord or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly fix morale and give us Legion rules. I would love to see get rid of that goddamn stupid Champion of Chaos rule, and then combine that with the dumb boom table when you guys are turning into spawn and shit. It's like, come on, that's not. It's funny, but it's not fun.
It's hilarious.
Like, oh, my super cool Lord turned into a spawn.
It's great when he has 1 wound left. Surprise!
Yeah.
All right. The ex-clincher, he said, follow up to his question. He agrees with us. He got overturned at a tournament. He's asking, do they automatically pass the pinning check? Do they even have to take it? Or what is the ruling on that?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I mean, I wouldn't say that they auto-pass it because it doesn't say that they pass all pinning checks. It just says they can't be pinned. So maybe you still take the check, but you're unaffected.
But then you still wouldn't be able to. I hate answering rules questions that are very specific like this off the cuff because you need to look at the actual words on the page.
Yeah.
We'll have to take a look at it, and then that is something that may be worth putting into the FAQ. So. Yeah. The Constructicons. Yeah, of course we know what their Constructicons are. Oh, you're talking to somebody else in the chat. My apologies.
Master
Mudge.
Can Grey Knight, the Aegis reroll still be used if not targeted?
No.
Negative.
We've gone across the board that you have to be the target of a psychic power to get any kind of a reroll or bonus. Because otherwise you take like the Caller of Corn, you have a board-wide 2-up, deny the witch.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah, you have to be the target of the power in order to get it, unless it's like an aura ability or something like that. Yep. Like I think the Psychic Hood is still an aura. Like anybody within a certain radius gets targeted, you deny on a 4+. I believe.
CW Dub, how about a scheduled weekly giveaway for the subs since you're downsizing to 1 live games per week?
Yeah, we'll do it on the Tuesday night fight.
Yeah. And we'll take one more. Warlock 123X. What bike army do you think is better, Ravenwing focused on Black Knights or White Scars focused on Grav?
I think that they're both really good in different ways.
Yeah, I think, shoot, I don't know. That's not an easy. I'd say probably White Scars.
I don't know.
The White Scars with Grav.
They're different, right? Like the Black Knights are more expensive, they're more durable, they hit harder.
Yeah.
White Scars, you get more of them. You can put more weapons on the table. They're just different, you know? I think they're both really, really good. I think you can make a great army using either. And Louis, you still make fun of my Spanish? Comprende, amigo.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. I actually can get by in Spanish-speaking countries. I'm not terrible.
You just point and grunt.
Especially if I've had a couple of drinks and I'm not worried about messing up, it just goes. I've had people like try and have really full-blown conversations and I'm just like,
You have no idea what's going on. Anyways, guys, that's all we got. Thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate it. See you guys tomorrow for Tuesday Night Fight. No idea who's playing yet, but we'll figure it out.